Welcome back. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock joins us on Denver 7 now for our bi-weekly interview. Thank you, Mayor, for joining us this morning.
As always, glad to be with both of you this morning. Welcome back, Molly.
Thank you.
And Mayor, we want to pick up with you where we left off, I guess, a couple weeks ago. Calls for police reform and justice have continued for weeks now. We're seeing this in Denver with William DuBose and in Aurora with Elijah McClain now. Talk to us about how you see things maybe changing in our city as we move forward.
I appreciate it, Brian. Very good question. You know, in Denver, we're going to follow the process of really listening. I think this is a time for us to be quiet and to listen to the people and their concerns and really what they desire to see happen in our city. At some point, we've got to move toward more of a dialogue where we actually are doing a beyond listening, but also sharing and asking for greater understanding of some of their positions and hopefully arriving at some ideas that we can begin the process of going to the third phase, which will be implementing those ideas, constructing and implementing those ideas. So Chief Payson, Director Robinson, and I have all been on Zoom calls, town hall meetings, and we are simply taking the time to listen and hear and to help to begin the process of determining where we should go.
Yeah, and people have a lot to say right now. You also just announced a task force to explore some of the city's statues and monuments that honor people with a questionable history. What do you hope comes from their findings?
Well, you know what? If there are monuments, if there are parks, if there are facilities that are named after individuals or movements that have occurred in our society that are painful to others, and by the way, I think the report you just ran was very insightful. There's a place for those that maybe in museums that, again, provide the context. But if they provide an unsafe or at least unsettling position for people, we need to have a thoughtful conversation. And what I hope to have come out of this, Molly, is just that thoughtful conversations and good decisions by a group of people who, quite frankly, represent a very broad spectrum, diverse spectrum of our city. And they lead our Human Rights and Community Partnership Commission, and I trust them to make good decisions and bring them back to us in terms of what we should be doing with some of these elements.
Switching gears to the coronavirus here in Denver, it sounds like masks are here to stay for a while. We should just kind of get used to it. How do you think our city is doing with respect to other large cities across the country, and how can we keep the COVID numbers manageable?
I appreciate it, Brian. I'm cautiously optimistic about our city. I think we've done a good job. The people of Denver have, quite frankly, complied with orders that we've issued, all driven by data and by science. We have experts who are giving us good guidance from the very beginning on this issue. And so, yes, masks going to be here for a while. I mean, when you look at those states that are spiking today, dangerously spiking, they didn't take seriously the need to wear masks. They didn't take seriously the need to, do stay-at-home orders or to really promote social distancing. Colorado and Denver are surrounded by cities that were in that kind of complex. We're doing better because we got ahead of this and the people comply. We need to stay the course because this virus is still with us, and we need to continue to do everything we can to blunt the transmission of the virus.
Absolutely. It's nice to see how our community just kind of came together to really tackle this. We know you're a big Broncos fan. We got to ask you some sports questions. If given the choice, would you allow fans into Empower Field for a Broncos game this upcoming season?
You know what? I think there's a way for them to do it, and it doesn't mean that you're going to have all 77,000 people in the stands. I don't know if that's going to be possible in 2020 into 21. But I think if they give some thought in how they give fans an opportunity to rotate, alternate, there's a way to do that because the stadium's outdoors. But I really don't think you can put everyone in the stadium. I believe there will be fans in the stands. They just got to be smart and thoughtful about it, and I think they will. The NFL is different than the other sports, Molly. They have a really robust TV contract. And so if there are no fans in the stands, I think the NFL will be okay. But it is about protecting the people who will attend the games, but also the players. And I'm really interested in the protocols that they'll be implementing for the season.
And if you can't go to the game, you can always build a Broncos man cave in your house. Perfect place to watch one. All right. Appreciate your time. As always, Mayor, be well.
As always, thank you all. And let's remind folks, get tested. Free testing at the Pepsi Center daily from 8 to 4. Free, confidential, easy. Just register at denvergov.org.
Peace of mind. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.